and welcome back to my channel. My name is Food Gamer Mom, and today we will continue building the city of Springville. If you have seen my previous videos, that's good. If you have not and is new to this channel, please go over and watch my other videos where we start up the city of Springville. Today we will continue building in the city, and as you have seen before, we built the bridge, and today we have shocking news about the bridge. People are walking on the strange bridge which I built before. It's a bridge that I obsessed about in an earlier episode, and I was not thinking people would enjoy the bridge, but it looks like both people and dogs are enjoying walking on this fabulous bridge, which I kind of find quite scary, to be honest. But hey, it's working. That's good. Who's this? This is Blaze. Blaze is enjoying the bridge. But yeah, besides from the enjoyment I had over people using my bridge, I think we need to look into the traffic situation with the cars parking beside the roads. And I still kind of do not want to get into the districts and place the roadside parking fee yet. I don't know why. The districts I know why I don't want to get into because the city and the layout of the city will change a lot in the next couple of hours of playing. So placing down districts will just make me have to redo the districts. So I kind of want the city to take more of form before I place down the districts. But as I spoke about in my previous episode, I wanted to get into the bus situation or the transportation uh, and the buses, placing down the buses and making people have the option to choose the bus over the car, both to avoid the traffic situations where people just sit in a queue, and also to avoid the many cars parked alongside the roads. Although I'm placing down a lot of parking spaces, there is just too many cars, and I don't want the whole city to be parking spaces. And I don't really enjoy taking the larger parking spaces or using the larger parking spaces that much because they take a lot of room. So I want to get into the bus business because that's that's a good way to avoid a lot of the traffic buildup that will occur now as the city is growing bigger. So yeah, just placing down the bus depot where the buses are stored and maintained, and considering here placing down the bus stops as I usually do. I feel like 2007, 2800 people living in the city does not need the bigger bus station, and probably because I'm not used to the bigger bus station, I prefer playing with the bus stops, but they also cause me a lot of pain when the city evolves because I have to move them around to make the transportation routes or the bus routes good. So actually deciding on placing down a few of the bus stations here. And actually, the city now is a tiny town with the new features unlocked, like the roadside parking fee, as I talked about, and a few other goodies like the recycling place. And also receiving a few new development points, and also some new slots of land that I can purchase. So that is good. The city is growing, and it's growing faster than before. But yeah, placing down three bus stations, and then just trying to place down some of the smaller bus stops spread around the city where I think that people would like them to be. One of the bus stations are located around the area of the university, which I think is a place where there will be a lot of traffic later on. And one in the industrial area because people can then take the bus to work instead of driving, and one in the residential area outside of the residential area, and trying to place down the bus stops where I think most people will use them later on in the game. And as much as I wanted to get into the bus business, I also feel like it's quite early in the game to get into the public transportation because the city and the layout of the city is going to change quite a lot eventually, and it's hard to tell where the traffic jams will be and where the people will be needing public transportation instead of their cars. So yeah, but it's exciting to start up with the buses because I feel like that is where the city actually goes from a tiny unstructured place to a place where I end up having some kind of plan of the evolvement of the city later on in the game. So yeah, it's quite a big leap for me to be placing down the buses, and I usually don't place down the buses this early, but I wanted to try this out. So going kind of wild in this Springville game. And also, I think that my new wild side with placing down the buses earlier in the game is due to me myself starting to travel to work by bus the latest month or two. Because before I just got in my car and I drove to work and that was it. And now we have changed workplace and there is not a lot of parking spaces nearby, and also this winter has been the roads have been very icy, so I'm just I don't like driving on the icy roads this year at least. So that's probably one of my inspirations to putting down the buses early. And also, my thought here is that the bus stations are like a connection hub to the other areas of the town. So I'm trying to make the bus route or the bus lines go in smaller areas and going in circles, and then connecting to a bus station where people can transfer to another bus and then go to another part of town by another bus line. I don't know how usual that is in other cities, but as a newbie to the bus life in Norway, I have figured this out, and I feel like that's a smart way to place down the buses. As of before, I normally made long bus lines, like from one part of the town into the industrial areas of the town, and they just wouldn't get used as much. So hopefully, they will now be used more and they will be more efficient. And yeah, it will be exciting to see if my experience in real life is transferred into how the dynamics of the bus and public transportation in the game is working out. So that's real life experience put into the game. And also, there is the option of placing down the taxi depot. I'm not a big taxi driver, or I'm not a big taxi passenger. It's not that common in Norway to use taxi as transportation, I think. I'm not used to it at least. So so my placement of the taxi stops or where the taxi passengers are standing in line to wait for a taxi, it's just kind of random because it seems like a logic place to place them down, but I don't know because I don't use taxis that much. Maybe once or twice a year I will take a taxi, but not not more than that. And that's due to taxis being really really expensive, and I think that I don't have the money to spend on taking a taxi anyway. But yeah, also trying to limit the amount of buses being used in the bus line because the game starts out with a large number of buses on the bus lines. I don't really know the logic behind that. Maybe it's because it's it's expected a large number of passengers using the bus lines due to people being better at placing the bus lines than I am. But yeah, trying to lowering the amount of buses driving around, and by that also lowering the cost of the public transportation. But that will also make less buses travel around town, so the bus won't show up as often. So that's probably one of the logic behind the number of buses being placed on a line, that there should be more, or the buses should be coming to a bus stop more often than what I'm doing at this stage of the game. As there are few passengers using it, I like the percentage of the usage of the lines to be higher uh, before I eventually place down more buses in the bus routes or lines that are placed down. And as the city evolved into a tiny town, I received 5 development points, which I'm spending here, spending them on emergency battery, the crematorium, as I spoke about earlier. I wanted that one, and also the college. I think maybe I called the university that I put down before a college. I'm not that. I don't know a lot about the education system in other countries, but yeah, it's I spent some on the college to receive possibility to have that one too, and also on the park maintenance and the fire tower, because I want to place down a fire tower in the industrial area, because I placed the fire station quite far from that one, and there's a lot of trees, and the fire tower will look out for the forest fires. And yeah, that's what I chose to spend the 5 development points on now. And yeah, probably the thing I wanted the most was the combined residential and commercial buildings, which I also unlocked when we reached Tiny Town, and placing down a few of them because I like the look of them, and I like the way they reduce the demand for both residential and commercial buildings, and yeah, also placing down some offices, although the demand isn't high for that one yet. So yeah. And here we have a dead person waiting to be picked up by a hearse, and we have a lot of them now as we have placed down the crematorium also. And yeah, I'm a bit looking at it now. I'm most certain that I have also called the high school the college and the university, because here I'm placing down the college that I just unlocked, and And yeah, it's actually a high school that I placed down before, which I also misplaced quite a lot. But yeah, this city is now full of possibilities to educate yourself. So hopefully, the industrial buildings eventually will be not so polluting, and I will be able to place down more of them because the demand for the industrial areas are rising quite high right now. So yeah. But sorry for the confusion regarding the university, college, and the high school. I know I spoke a lot about how I want the area around the college and university to be placed, but that was not quite right as it was high school. But still, I want the city to look like it does. And also placing down the bus stop outside of the college so that people easily can go there. And yeah, it's kind of a strange placement of this one also, but it is what it is, and eventually I will be moving a lot of the buildings, and that is also the reason why I don't place down the signature buildings that unlock very early. But we have two unlocked at this stage, which I'm trying to place down in the areas because they bring joy and happiness to the city, and that will also make people want to move to the city, and the people already living in the city will be more happy. So yeah, trying to place them down, but I feel like sometimes, as a lot of things, it's hard placing them down in the start of the game. But yeah, trying to place them down to see if they will make the people of Springville happier. And traffic is building up, and that will not make them happier because that means it will be harder to get around the city. But we will have to look into that later on. And but parks will make them happier. So placing down the park maintenance place is a good thing to do because that will make the parks I have placed down and will be placing down look prettier to the people, and that is good. So not focusing on the road issue or the traffic situation quite yet. Trying also to figure out where is the specialized industrial areas like the stone and the coal and the the grain, which I will have to change the farming situation later on. But yeah, most of the placement of the specialized industry is outside of where I have chosen to buy tiles right now, so not getting into that either at this point, although they will uh, make a huge impact on the city when I eventually put them down. So that is good. We'll have to look into that also to be able to get the resources we need to the city without importing them from other cities. And also placing down the fire tower in the area where there is a forest and farms, but the farms might as well just burn down at this point as I misplaced them quite a lot. And also, as the option for the highways has been unlocked earlier, trying to upgrade some of the roads so that they are highways, and also tweaking some of the roads that I made previously in earlier in the game, so that the connection to the highway actually is another highway connecting. I'm no road builder, not in real life and not in this game, but I feel like It looks better when the connection to the other roads are a highway. So yeah, trying to make it beautiful, but not quite succeeding. But it is an improvement, I would say, to the previous looks of this connection to the highway. And also wanting to make another connection to the city from the highway. I tried building something off camera because I don't want to build on camera, but it kind of looks like it's something. I don't think it's a thing. I just think it's something. It's a place where cars can drive from the highway to the city. And yeah, it's kind of a mess, or it's a mess. And with that, I think I will end the episode here at this thing or this something. I would like to say thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in a later episode. Hope you are having a nice day. I am, and I hope to see you again in a later episode. Bye!